How's it going? Welcome back to the channel. We're going to go ahead and discuss a little bit of things about what I think about the fire service in general and whether or not you should join or not. My kids have always said this over the years too. Like, I want to be just like dad and do this or that, or heaven forbid, they say they want to be a cop. And we'll talk about that in general, being an emergency responder. I have nothing against cops, okay? Cops are definitely needed in this world. And, it's not that I'm against them at all, so I'll tell you the story about that later on too. So, when it comes to the fire service, so for me, I spent the 10 years there, had a lot of great instructors, great times and hard times. Seen the bad calls, the good calls, and all that and in between. Medical was the same way. So for me, medical was very rewarding. You know, that's where you got your rescues at. First off, one of my first rescues was medical. I had more in fire to follow, but medical was my very first rescue. I'll never forget that moment. But when it comes to fire, though, I highly suggest that you sit back and you really think about it, especially if you have a family currently and you have not gone through the training already. I would suggest that you go through the training as young as possible, as soon as you can. 18 here in the state of Indiana, you can go. I would highly suggest that you go through all of the training early on if you do choose to be a firefighter. After I talk about what I want to talk about. Here in the state of Indiana, you had to have firefighter 1 and 2 still, that's what they call it, and it's just a class that's about 9 to 10 months, if I remember right, 2, 3 nights a week. Hey, it's intense, a lot of practicals and physical practicals that you have to do to be able to pass this class, but it's with you for the rest of your life. It never expires, so that's what's important, which is another thing because a lot of your other stuff expires, so, like, my instructors 1 and 2, all that is expired. Now my fire medic stuff is all expired, so you gotta keep that in consideration too, that, all this stuff expires too that you're also working hard to get. But overall, I would say, it was really hard to balance a job, a family, and it was just me and my wife at the time, and another side venture that I had also, I was DJing too. It was very tough to keep it all balanced all together. I really wish if it was a paid department and that's what you're on, I think you're gonna do fine, okay? Because you're paid and that's what your job is. I think that's why the volunteer service is just a struggle bus right now, especially more than ever. I think when I was on, we had 30 people and now they're down to 7. These 7 are not even people that were on when I was on, maybe 1 or 2 of them. But 7 people and they can't not get anybody else. And a lot of it has to do with just like what my previous video talked about is how war is just in the US and the taxation is so bad right now. Prices are so high right now on absolutely everything. And you can say, "Oh, but the gas is there." I could give a shit less about the gas right now. I'm talking about everything. I said something about a tub of butter in my previous video. It's going up to $7 when it used to be 2 when I was a kid, you know? And it just keeps going up, up and away, and it's not acceptable when wages don't go with it, and the only wages that go with it seem to be, like, people that work in the government. The ones that are making the decisions that affect us all in the end, and that's the tough part. The biggest thing about fire, though, it's a lot easier job than a police officer, in my opinion, though, because I can go out there and I can try my best to save that life, and if I don't at the end of the day, it's okay. But to me, when it comes to being a police officer, I have the utmost respect for people that do that, because to me, it's crazy. I went through a course here at a local gun shop, which I carry. I have the right to carry. I have a carry permit, and I have quite the collection. I love guns. I'm a big gun guy. I've done my research on all this. I have the Glocks, the Springfields. I have everything. So don't say, "Oh, you're just anti-gun, anti-gun." No, I'm not. Okay. But when it comes to, being a police officer, I did a course a while back where it was on a screen and you had to make the call whether or not what you're gonna do in this situation. You're allowed to yell out commands and things like that. And I made the call a couple times on these. There's like 10 different scenarios that you're just walk into that are already going on. And I walk into this gas station. Now, this is a video screen, mind you, and I had the training pistol up and everything. And there was a man holding a shotgun in this video against what I believed at the time to be the teller, and he had his hands up behind the register there. So I commanded the gentleman to drop the weapon, and when he turned when he turned at me, I forget, he didn't put the muzzle down. He was trying to talk to me, but and reason with me, but for some reason, I didn't understand why he was trying to reason with me when I thought he was the guilty victim here. But come to find out after I shot the guy digitally, I never shot the guy, but after I shot the guy in the motion play there, I made the wrong call. It was actually the store owner fending off the robber. It's calls like that, bad calls that you could make potentially as a police officer. They have to make these calls at the split second, and they're held to a scrutiny. They're held to a very high standard. If they make one error, they don't go home. They spend the rest of their life in a jail cell when they were just trying to make a living. Can you just imagine that? Just imagine that. So for me, a police officer is just out of the question. You make one error and you're done for the rest of your life when you're just trying to help. We can't have that. We can't have that. And so I have the utmost respect for all police officers. Bravo to you. Bravo to you. But for me, when it comes to volunteer firefighting, I would highly suggest that you take a good long look at your life because it is almost impossible to balance on a today like today. And I don't recommend it. If you're going to do it paid. I think if I was getting paid a lot more than what I would think I was making $1,000 a year. If I was getting paid a lot more than what I was, it would be acceptable. The trauma would have been easier to take because you're getting paid for that time and that what they're taking from your life and what you have to deal with later. You're getting paid for it. And I think that's the only acceptable way for me to be able to digest the fire service right now. All because right now, as I sit here, I did all of that for the 10 years for what? Not a couple $1,000, and the trauma that it delivered to me? No, absolutely not. I think I would be able to digest about what went on a lot easier if I would actually had, if it was yeah, if was paid, because then I could justify it. I did it for my family. I did it for this or that. Instead, it wasn't paid, and I did all that time down there, spending 30, 40 hours a week down at the firehouse on top of my 2 other jobs and trying to balance a house and a wife. And I wonder why it crumbled after 10 years. Why I crumbled and why I had to change as a person. It completely destroyed who I was. I don't find when I started the fire service, I was a Christian. I cannot even stomach to read it today because of what I've seen. And I've listened to people and I've talked to people about this, and I just can't find it acceptable that a man decides when you die and how you die and the things that I had to see, the screams I had to hear, the people I had to tell that nobody's coming home, the bags I had to zip. And you know what? For me, after the 10 years, and it's been 14 years since I've been on the hose. It's the rescues that I don't remember, but the ones you lose, yeah, you do. And the trauma, the scenes that are just some of the most gruesomest things I've ever seen in my entire life. To dismembered murders to I just can't. So and but I knew what I signed up for, so you can call me a big baby down in the comments section. I don't give a fuck. I knew what I signed up for. And I'm not It's just stuff I have to deal with every day. For what? For what? I was so disrespected in my hometown. So disrespected. Like, it's always, "You could have been there 5 minutes faster. You didn't save this or that." The people from my hometown were so disrespectful and expected something for nothing all the time. All the time. It was disgusting. It really is disgusting how the volunteer fire service is treated in their communities, at least in my old community. It's appalling, and, so I suggest that you don't. If it's volunteer, don't do it. If it's paid, do it. It's worth it, I think, in the long run. Pension, you know, I uh, if I was making money, I think it would have been a hell of a lot easier to do, and, I wouldn't have to go try to find out money elsewhere on top of the fire service, you know? So, do it. If it's paid, volunteer, don't do it. Run. Anyways, thanks for watching. See you on the next. That's just my opinion. Don't like it? Fuck off.